from the high desert of Southern California, welcome. Welcome back to the Great Awake Coach Podcast. Thank you for the time, thank you for the energy, thank you for the attention. All three, much appreciated. First things first, GreatAwakeCoach.com is the website. If you are unfamiliar with my work, I'm a unicorn, man. I'm a conservative life and performance coach. I am a project manager for people's awakening process. If you have just woken up in the last couple of years, I'm your huckleberry, as the old saying goes. I'm your man. Waking up can look a lot like low-level mental illness. And I myself have been through 4 different awakening processes in 30 years. And each of them were rather severe, definitely life-changing, career-changing, paradigm-changing, reality-changing, and most of all, perception-changing. And I did all 4 of those awakening processes or those growth processes while in Los Angeles, California. Slept in my car, lost everything a couple of times, lost a bunch of friends, family members. You guys know the story. But each time I came out of these awakening processes better, not perfect, but way more refined, a better version of me. Instead of letting them destroy me, I let them strip me bare and build up something better. That is what I help my clients do. So excited for you to go to GreatAwakeCoach.com, learn more about myself. You can visit the About page, and that is that's a nice little bio of who I am and a bit about my story and about why I teach. Look at the coaching page to find out about our group coaching. That happens in late August, early September. One-on-one coaching is for conservative business owners, entrepreneurs, and the awakened from all walks of life. I give everyone 45 minutes for free. Visit my contact page on GreatAwakeCoach.com. I will be happy to sit down and talk to you about where you are in your process, and more importantly, where you would like to be. We all have that thing, folks. It's been lingering for far too long. Let's work on that thing. I will encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to get your bullshit out of the way while you still have time. It is the greatest gift you will ever give yourself. It is a different kind of freedom than you have ever tasted before. I'm excited to talk to you. GreatAwakeCoach.com. Have a look around. Schedule some time with me. All right, on we go. Thank you for bearing with the plug. So, a little different thing today. We are going to talk just about meditation. A lot of times when you start to talk about anything that has to do with Buddhism, very religious people will immediately get very testy. And what I tell those folks is very simple. Like, Buddhism is not a religion. It's not a religion. Nobody worships Buddha, right? That's not the point. Buddhism is a set of guidelines to help you deal with reality. That's it. It's a set of guides, a set of practices. It's literally a manual for you dealing with a-holes. If you deal with a bunch of a-holes all the time, you should look into Buddhism. It will help you greatly. I promise you. And you don't have to worship anything. Jesus will not disown you. If you listen to a couple Jack Kornfield audio books. So let's get that out of the way. I don't take it as a religion, nor do I think it replaces Christianity or any other religion that might be out there. It's not a replacement for it. Think of it as an accessory. It's a fantastic tie to complement that nice suit you got. All right, everybody goes, man, it's a nice tie. That's Buddhism. All right. Prayer is you talking to God. Meditation, purposeful sitting, is you being patient enough to sit there and listen for the answers that God gives you. That's all meditation is. I mean, you can put whatever label on it. You can describe it any way you like. I love that concept of it. You're just sitting and receiving the infinite knowledge and wisdom of a grace-filled, benevolent God with a dark sense of humor. Next, let's talk about the idea of a destination or a purpose. Why do we sit? Well, first, as I mentioned, for answers, obviously, right? Like the meditation is not prayer. Prayer is not meditation, but the two can often get commingled, right? But the destination here, when we sit, is very simple. It's peace. You're chasing the dragon of peace. You sitting on that cushion. You sitting in that chair. You sitting at the red light. Peace is what you're seeking. Meditation is the act of peace farming, essentially. You're planting a seed, hoping that peace will grow out of it. And each time you sit, you're watering it. You're tending to that plant. You're an active participant in the process of generating peace. You'll often hear people say, one of the goals of meditation is to clear the mind. And I'll go ahead and say that is true to an extent. That comes with time and practice, of course. Right? That's why they call meditation a practice. The real job, if we can call it a job, the first job of meditation is you sitting and simply observing how crazy your mind is. You'll be in the middle of a wonderful sit, and then something someone said in 5th grade will come flying back into your head. You're like, where in the hell did that come from? That's the mind. The mind will do anything to distract you. I mean, that's all the mind really is. It's just a tape recorder. When it encounters a new situation, the first thing, the only thing it knows how to do is play back your failure. Is to play back all the mistakes, all the things you should have done, all the things you should have said. That's all the brain is, ladies and gentlemen. It is it's a shitty tape recorder. And part of the meditation process is you identifying it as a separate entity, as almost an enemy. You're not attacking it, but you're sure as hell not listening to it anymore. Now that you know that it's just a tape recorder full of lies. The quicker you can view your mind as a familiar stranger in your life's story, the quicker you'll be free of it. You understand? It's you, but it's the old you. And that's all the mind knows, is the old you. Your desire for change, your desire for reinvention lies in the soul and in your heart, not in your mind. Hope that makes sense. So the more you stay out of your mind during this process of reinvention, of renewal, of restoration, the better. It's not new news, ladies and gentlemen. You've been told by the masters for hundreds of years, stay heart-centered. And although many people will tell you that meditation is about the breath. And yes, it is. But I got to tell you, I think it's helpful to tell people who are ready to start a practice. I think it's important to tell them about the destinations, right? You're not just sitting to sit. You are sitting for a multitude of reasons. But one of them that not many people talk about is the opening of the heart. Literally, like a set of double doors. If you're ever looking to do some visualization, if you find that you cannot clear the mind and you want to do a visualization, something to kind of fix on while you breathe, see the heart. See your heart in your chest. And then picture these beautifully carved doors on the front of your heart. And picture them opening. Ever so slowly, ever so gently. Opening. That's one of our goals. That's one of our destinations. So I want to plant that in your head. One of my teachers told me that the longest trip you'll ever take is from your head to your heart. And it's the absolute truth. I would like for your journey from your head to your heart to take less time than mine did. I would like for you to have to learn less lessons, fewer lessons than I did in that journey from the head to the heart. So if you need something to fix on, you need something to visualize while you sit. See your heart open. It is a beautiful but vulnerable place to live from. But in the end, you may or may not find out that there is no other choice. Actually, we're going to let this beautiful track play out. This is an ambient tune called Waves from a Spanish ambient artist. Calls himself Warmth, WARMTH, on the Archives dub label on Bandcamp. If you love ambient music, you should be checking out Warmth on bandcamp.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you. I needed more coffee. So let's continue with this. This is, I guess, a meditation 101, or the Great Awake Coach interpretation of meditation. So I want to talk briefly about resistance. And resistance applies to all areas of our life, especially when it has to do with things regarding us making changes, making improvements, cleaning up our act, so to speak. A lot of resistance can come up. And that's because we rely too heavily on the brain, right? Which we've talked about in the past. The brain just being a crappy tape recorder. It plays back your mistakes, plays back your tragedies. And it does not like change. So we're not going to make a big deal or over-dramatize you beginning a meditation practice. You don't need to go out and buy a special cushion or tuft. You don't need to wear a certain color robe. You don't need to face any particular direction. You can just sit in a chair, right? We talked about the idea of having a quick sit at a red light. The person behind you will let you know when it's time to drive, right? Very simple. Light turns green, person behind you honks, you apologize, give a nice wave, and on you go. And you got 15, 20 seconds of goodness in. So the idea is to introduce yourself to it slowly, right? And setting overachieving goals for yourself or unattainable goals for yourself. Just not helpful. The first time you sit, you are not going to sit for 30 minutes. You're not even going to sit for 5 minutes. Let's not BS each other. It's a process. Not everybody takes to it like a fish to water. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not using any kind of guided meditation, any kind of binaural beats, any, enhancement or assistance. If you're just sitting alone in silence, with your eyes closed, breathing, face to face with your unconscious, the first time you do it, you'll only do it for a couple minutes tops. And that's fine. Matter of fact, I'd prefer that. I'd prefer for you to get to a place where you do 60 to 90 second sits 5 times a day. You just work it into your day on your lunch hour, man. Sit in the car, sit in the lunchroom, put earbuds in, just and just consciously connect. Consciously check out at the same time. Does that make sense? Just 4 or 5 times a day, 3 times a day if you can pull it off, whenever you remember. But the more you do it, that's 60 to 90 seconds, the more you are going to get a taste for it. Do you understand? You can get a lot done in 60, 90 seconds if you breathe deeply, really concentrate, really focus, really dial it in, and become conscious and present for 90 seconds. You can get a lot done if you do it 3 to 5 times a day. That's how you start. You start with a willingness, and you start with a practice. You expect resistance. Just expect it. Resistance is going to be there, but it is going to be up to you to confront it and to tell it to go sit down and shut up. All right. Last thing I want to cover is I'd like to talk to you about proper posture. And again, you're going to talk to a whole bunch of different teachers, different practitioners. Everybody has their own spin on it. If you don't have a cushion, a meditation cushion or pillow, I'm going to give you a nice, simple way of doing it. It is best if you can sit in a chair where you can put your feet on the floor flat. Depending on the chair, depending on your height, depending on your build, might be possible, might not, but I would prefer your feet to be on the floor. So you are going to sit as far back in that chair as humanly possible. And you're going to kind of, like, your goal is to push your butt into where the back of the chair and the bottom of the chair meet. That crevice, that crease. I want you to try and push your bum back towards that crevice, that crack. If you can get it there. That's ridiculous. If you can get it there, that's where I'd like, right? And again, feet on the floor. If you can get full feet on the floor, that's fine. And then you are going to arch your back. Going to kind of pull your shoulders back. Going to gently push out your chest and curve that spine. Now, do you feel like do you feel your tailbone and how, rock back and forth on that tailbone? Just for a second. Rock back and forth. And you can start to feel the connection at the tailbone or the spine. And how you have the spine gently curved. Shoulders back. Chest down. Eyes forward. Unclenched jaw. Now breathe.
No lying down. Meditating while lying down equals napping. And we are not in the napping business right now. You can nap on your own time. Tailbone push down. Spine arched gently. Shoulders gently pulled back. Stick out that chest. All right. So the last thing we're going to talk about today is hand placement. Feel it's important to address that. Some teachers will lead you to believe that you should hold your hands a certain way, in a certain position, on your knees. Your mileage may vary. I don't like being told what to do. Which is it's a reoccurring issue in my life. I don't like to be told what to do, right? Kind of like to do my own thing to varying degrees of success. Here's what I do. If you want to hold your hands a certain way, you go ahead and do it. I'm going to give you a very simple solution that doesn't cause any conflicts, because it's based in abundance. It's based in love. Okay? So, we are sitting in a chair. We're sitting in a cushion, wherever you can. Unless, of course, you're driving. Please come to a complete stop. Thank you. You are simply going to rest your hands in your lap. And depending on which feels more comfortable for you, you are going to put either your left hand or your right hand underneath the other. So, palm up, hand on top of hand. You can even curve it a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly on top, but they should be resting on top of each other, with your bottom hand supporting your top hand. So your top hand isn't left to dangle. And then the bottom hand is being supported by your thighs. You are forming a bowl or a cup. And the best way to remember this is that the reason we make this bowl or this cup with our hands is not just because it's the most comfortable. In my mind, we are creating a bowl or a cup to catch all the wisdom that's being rained down upon us while we sit. Does that make sense? Your gift is wisdom. Your gift is presence. How long it takes for you to get present and wise is mostly up to you. So we form a cup, we form a bowl with our hands in our lap. So let's walk through the whole thing. Tailbone pushed out. Spine gently curved. Shoulders back. Chest out. Eyes straight ahead. We can breathe in through our nose. And out through the mouth. Breathe in. Hold it. Exhale. Rinse and repeat. You can read as many books as you want. You can watch as many videos as you want. You can go to as many groups as you want. These are the basics of meditation. 60, 90 seconds at a time. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day. The practice begins when the practice begins. I'm excited for you. Don't be afraid of sitting. It's one of the biggest things you can do to reclaim yourself, to reclaim your sovereignty over the system. I'm excited for you. If you'd like to learn more about my coaching, please visit greatawakecoach.com. Telegram, The Great Awake Coach. Truth Social and Rumble at Great Awake Coach. My email, if you want to reach out to me directly, greatawakecoach@gmail.com. Very much looking forward to talking to you. And I thank you yet again for your time, your energy, your attention. All very valuable. God bless you guys. We'll speak soon.